What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Summer Career Mode. It is episode number 10, returns today on the back of our opening day draw against Bristol City away, and of course the 3 new signings made to the team, plus the scouts coming in as well. Well, we spent most of our money so far. Again, our team right now is still looking incredibly light in terms of depth, basically nothing there, and it's going to get smaller as well, because to start today's stuff, we've got a bid for our Icelandic goalkeeper Anderson, but like I said, with the young lad Aaron coming out of the academy, we don't need 3 goalkeepers, and this is just a way to raise a little bit more money. So yeah, I mean, really, I said this before, but in FIFA Career Mode, 9 times out of 10, not always, sometimes you might get incredibly unlucky, but 9 times out of 10, you're fine with just 1 first-team goalkeeper. For realism, I like to have 3 or the bare minimum 2, and 2 is more than enough. So if we can get just a little bit more, come on, Pompey, don't you understand how bad our financial situation is? I'll take even a penny more. 675k, he's off to Fratton Park. Just under 2 million in the budget. We're going to quickly skip through to the 7th, where, fingers crossed, as we get 2 more bids here, we will have our first youth players joining the academy for this season. 2 more bids here, one from Sporting Kansas City for Anderson. It's only 5k, but I'll accept that bid there, and a bid for Kanaya Boys Clark. But like I said, I like this kid, man. I like him a lot, so I'm keeping him as our backup for this year. But yeah, 3 scouts for the first time this season. Let's see who we've got, and fingers crossed we will have some players joining the academy right from the get-go, because that's Felix Bishop could be very good. That's what we need. That is what we need, man. Last year we didn't really get much luck with the youth scout, and granted, didn't exactly have great scouts, but this year we can't afford not to have good players coming through the youth setup, man. So Felix Bishop, he's going to make the academy straight away. The others are going to see the scouting on. And from Ghana, I'm quite hopeful that Eric Mensah could be very good indeed. Here we go. Yeah, this is why, like, okay, so maybe you'll do 1 more month there. This is why, like, you need, like, top-level scouts, man, because when you're working with low-rated ones, I mean, you saw last season, we spent an entire year in America looking for a goalkeeper. We had the whole year to scout the entire nation. Do you know what? I'm just going to give him a scholarship here. And we couldn't find a single one. I mean, like I said, Bennett, who's came out of the academy, he's taken the number 1, but we don't have any potential tag on him at all yet, as unfortunately I don't think we're going to start off with the new Gylfi Sigurdsson coming from the youth setup. Thomas Olsen could be alright, but we'll continue the scouting for now. But yeah, if you're working with low rated scouts, put it this way, like, I'm not going to say it's a waste of money, but the chance of you finding anyone noteworthy is incredibly low. But Bishop from England and Mensah from Ghana, the 2 getting put in the academy straight away, and the highest rated just to begin with as well. Yeah, I think, like, to me, a 4-star judgment scout is the bare minimum, and I mean the bare minimum you should use for your scouting. Anything lower than that, you're just not going to find anyone of note, really. I have a feeling that Patrick Oakley is going to ask for a pro deal at some point during the season, so I might just give him a pro deal and then loan him out. Same with Jonathan Johnson, the young lad we'll convert into striker as well. But Eric Mensah definitely will. Felix is too young to be promoted at 15. Obviously, you can't promote players until they hit 16 or older, but he looks very good indeed. In terms of a long-term successor for Harvey Nibbs, I think we just found one. But yeah, for Mensah, I'm going to promote him straight away. We'll take a look at his potential tag, and I think I'll add him to the loan list as well. He's got the exciting prospect tag. Could he get minutes in this team? Possibly, but it might be wiser just to loan him out, possibly if just for half a year or maybe 1 year, and then bring him back for the new season. It's not a bad shout, that. I think I'm going to add him to the loan list and get him some first-team football elsewhere. So, as we see, the sale of Anderson to Pompey will take £675,000 for the sale of what would have been our 3rd choice goalkeeper, to be fair. That rises our budget up to around £2.6 million in total. But again, when you've got to consider the fact you've got to pay a transfer fee, the weekly wages, the sign-on bonus too, I don't know if we do anything with that money, really. I just want to make sure we've got enough money to cover the wages we'll be spending throughout the entire year, and wanting to put players in the academy as well. Let's dive into our first game of the episode. First game at the Medeski this season on the back of the draw away at Ashton Gate on match day 1. Confidence from that game, positive taken and a point as well. Let's see if we can get our first victory in the championship against what will be newly promoted Premier League side next year, and the team I'll be doing my first career mode of next year as well. Can't wait for it too. Ipswich Town, the Tractor Boys at the Medeski. Come on, you Royals. What a job Kieran McKenna has done at Ipswich Town, man. I mean, there was obviously a lot of rumours that he'd be taking over from Erik ten Hag as the new Manchester United boss. And you have to wonder, would that have been the timeline? Would that have happened had Manchester United not won the FA Cup? I mean, you know, a lot of people, and to be fair, I'll hold my hands up and say this too, I thought Ten Hag might get sacked regardless of whether Manchester United won the FA Cup last season. But let's say hypothetically they did come up short to Man City. Would that have been Ten Hag's final game, and would Kieran McKenna be in the home dugout at Old Trafford for next season? That's one of those sort of like what if moments in football, do you know what I mean? But instead, staying at Portman Road, excited to see how they get on next season. Back in the top flight at Ipswich Town for the first time in a long time, and yeah, really excited to see how they get on. Kieran McKenna, back-to-back promotions, League on to the Premier League. I think that's the first time it's been done since Southampton. I think. But even so, excited for it, man. Really excited to see how Tractor Boys get on next season as Lewis Wing wins it back all the time in the world. Can't be making those mistakes at any level. Lewis Wing with the finish. Reading in front. Lewis Wing has a great story, by the way. This lad is non-league to the Football League, if not the Premier League. But hey, who knows, maybe one day, right? And this guy, even in his late teens and in his very early 20s, or like 20, 21 years old, even back then, I think I'm right in saying this, he was actually working part-time in Tesco at the same time as playing non-league football. And, you know, a few years later, he ends up getting signed by Middlesbrough. And he's kicked on since then. And made a career for himself in the professional game. And I love that, you know, it's a different career path. And oh my goodness, I should have made it 2 with him there. Somehow missed the target. But, you know, for a lot of players, they feel as though if they don't make it to like a professional team's academy by the time they're 18, their chance of playing a professional game may have gone. Look at the likes of Lewis Wing and, you know, others as well as an example. That's not always the case. You can still make it from non-league onwards. And Wing is a good example of that. How on earth did I not make that 2? That was a terrible strike. I'm not sure we'll ever see another Ian Wright. Ian Wright, I think, was 21, 22, possibly? Early 20s anyway, when he eventually got picked up by Palace. But of course, before then, he was playing non-league, didn't play for any academy. Oh, as that shot goes just wide. Well documented, spent a very brief period of time in prison as well. I think he was a bricklayer, Ian Wright, I think. Before he ended up turning professional. But I don't know if we'd ever see another Ian Wright. You know, obviously Ian Wright ended up taking the Premier League by storm. Legend for Arsenal. And obviously played for England many times as well. I just feel there's just too much money in modern day football now, especially at the top level. As Lenny Lobato fires off target for a player of Wright's ability to go completely unsigned and under the radar by a professional team's academy. But there will still be stories like Lewis Wings, for example, from non-league, if not to the Premier League, and at the absolute top level, the international stage. At least players that, again, were playing non-league football in their early 20s, but still managed to carve out a professional career for themselves later on. You will still see stories like that. And I've got a lot of respect for those sort of players too. Never knowing when to quit. Yes, Kieran McKenna led this Ipswich Town team to back-to-back promotions from League One to the Premier League. I said on the opening day against Bristol City, I don't think we've got much chance of doing that. But to start the season off, 4 points taken from a possible 6. First clean sheet in our first home game and our first win as well. I guess you could say, dare to dream, but instead I'm saying keep your feet on the ground. We are still statistically the weakest side in the division. First win in the championship though, we'll take it. Fully deserved as well, played some good football out there. And just before we dive into our following game, we have got a loan offer for Mensa and a bid for Kelvin as well. Not going to sell him though. I like him as the backup for Reggie, but for Mensa, yeah, I think the best thing to do with Eric is get him loaned out for a year. I would say would be enough. Could do a short term loan, but I'll tell you, we'll do 1 year, and depending on how he's getting on, he might be good enough to return in January. But we'll start with a year. And speaking of Ghanaian players, well, I have found one in the free agents pool who could be a pretty decent pickup for us, to be fair. 73 rated makes him one of our highest rated players once we get him in. And with the pace he's got as well, and the agility and the balance, this is what we've been looking for as the replacement for Mukairu. We've already got Lenny coming in, and this man as well could be a really good pickup on a free. Osman Bukhari, right wing striker, this position's flair, play style, but also 5-star weak foot with the high medium work rate as well. Let's bring him in. Yeah, I must say I quite like the look of this guy, to be honest. Absolutely rapid, really agile, very handy when cutting in from the flanks, which we like our wide midfielders to do, but also could possibly spearhead this team. He's coming on a 2-year, 10 grand a week deal, making him our highest earner by far, but he's also got the most amount of first team quality in the team now, and could certainly be a handful for opposition defenders with the pace and the agility. So yeah, coming in on a 2-year deal, I have to say this could be a steal here for a player that, again, is only 25 and still getting better. Welcome to the Medeski Stadium, Osman Bukhari. Yep, another Ghanaian here at the Medeski Stadium. Again, is still getting better as well. I love the 5-star weak foot, the high attacking work rate and the pace as well. To me, this guy playing in behind could be a real problem. And he's got decent jumping as well. Heading's not great. I'm not really sure whether we should convert him to striker, but it's not a bad option. It really isn't. Yeah, we need to work on the strength, that's for sure. The finishing's not great. With the raw pace he's got, definitely something to consider. Even so, Osman in, and this is a class signing on a free. Like I said, man, gotta spend our pennies wisely. This guy's well worth the weekly wage. Right, following game, Luton Town away, but this is the Carabao Cup, so not really too fussed what happens here. I'll throw it back upside and see how we do. Come on, you Royals. Yeah, we haven't got the depth for cup runs as of yet. So until we do. Oh, well done. Really well done. Oh, yes, I don't really mind what happens too much. It's always nice to go on a cup runs on lower league side, but, well, I guess we'll see what happens. Ben Elliott would have finished, though, Reading in front. Oh, no, that's so unlucky, that. Oh, lovely offload, though, to be fair. And Boss Barkley would have finished. So unlucky, though. Deflects off the path of Savage and straight in to the oncoming path as Luton get back on level terms. You know, some goals, just not really much you can do about. Just chalk it up as bad luck, one of those things. I do find it weird that EA don't have the League Cup as an objective. I don't really understand why not. I mean, I mentioned before, it's like, it basically completely devalues the competition to the point where it's like, there's basically no reason to play it. As Nesta fires in his first goal. I'm not against extending this guy's contract, to be fair. I do quite like him as a attacking left flank piece. But yeah, it just completely devalues the competition to the point where, well, it's like, what's the incentive? You're not getting a financial reward for progressing, really. If it's not going to count towards the objectives, this is the first round. We could go out here or go all the way to win it. The board wouldn't care either way. It's like, if you want me to take the competition seriously, give me a reason to play it, EA. Careful, ball through. And, oh, what a finish that is into the top corner. 2-2, 26 to go. Looks as though we are set for a shootout to see which side makes the second round. First shootout of the save. And if you're any viewers to the channel, then basically Doxy Boy doesn't win penalty shootouts. My ratio, my record is normally like win 1, lose 4 out of 5. And I'm not exaggerating at all. So I'd imagine this is where our progress will end. But first shootout of save, let's see if we can make it through. I don't think I've ever seen a penalty stat lower than that before. 12. Oh, he's got to take the first. I mean, he's got to take the first if that's the case. I don't think I've ever seen worse stats. Listen, I get it, he's a goalkeeper, don't get me wrong. No one's expecting him to take penalties, but it's still probably the... Oh, as Calvert-Lewin scores the first. Probably the lowest I've ever seen. I want to see how... It's not even that slow. That quick, sorry. I reckon Kanaya's going to belt this in top bins, you know. Oh yes, 12 or not. That's a perfect start for Kanaya. Brosby to take the next, and he scores 2-1. And Bukhari to take the next. I'm not confident with Bukhari either, to be fair. Fired a blank on his debut, but does score from the spot, to be fair, to make it 2-2. I love that comical reaction from the goalkeeper, though. It's like, mate, it's the Carabao Cup first round. That was the only the second penalty we've taken. You don't need to be that dramatic. That's like me in GCSE drama, that is. Kamara has it saved by Kaminsky, And as I still haven't saved one yet, Alan Campbell steps up and pops it into the middle. And I think that'll probably see where our progress ends. And Bengay must convert this one, otherwise we are going out. Top right, if he doesn't score, we are out. And no, it's saved by Kaminsky. And like I said, I was not exaggerating. I win about 20% of the shootouts I take part in, and even that is probably an overestimation. Out in the first round. It's the saving of the penalties that I find the most difficult, as Mensa goes out on loan. We'll keep our eyes on him there. Possibly recall in January, we'll see. But anyway, on the back of the loss in the shootout, staying in Luton, staying at Kenilworth Road for the following game, back to matters in the Championship. And like I said, I'm far more focused on this anyway, so I don't mind going out the Carabao Cup if we win the following game in the league. Going for our first away day victory of this season, and possibly 7 points taken from our first 9 available in our first 3 games. What a start that would be to life in the Championship. Let's go get the dub. Come on, you Royals. Luton Town obviously relegated back to the Championship after just 1 year in the Premier League. I have to say though, what a fantastic first year they had. Because despite relegation, I mean, no one really gave them a chance at the start of the season. As Harvey, belts one off the crossbar. And is he onside there? He was onside, but the ball just took ages to come down. Mathematically, okay, fair enough. We know they were relegated after match day 37, but mathematically, technically, they took it to the final day. That's an achievement in itself for a side that didn't really spend much money, either in the summer window or the January window in the top flight, and just decided to keep that cash and look to invest in the infrastructure. I think they did a much better job than people were expecting, man. For the new season, I've seen they've not really spent any money for the new season either. I respect the way they're doing things, man. Not just bringing loads and loads of players in on big contracts, but focusing on the whole club, not just the players on the pitch. And it'll be interesting to see if they can bounce straight back up to the Premier League, bouncing back to the Championship for this year. As McAtee finds PSL, nice ball through, and Alfie, dispossessed by Reggie. Oh, how was that squirmed in? And that is going front. Oh man, a young goalkeeper out of the academy has not covered himself in glory there. That should never be squeezing in. Granted, probably should have done better with Reggie, but even so, that's so poor, man. How'd you get your angles that badly? But it's squeezed in from the tightest, as Lenny is denied by Tim Krul as he goes in search of his first goal for the Royals. Still down by 1, but again, playing some decent football out there, man. Just needing to rub the green with the finish. Wings delivery. Dennis heads it off the bar. Second time we've hit the woodwork, man. Come on, man. Give us some luck as Lenny is denied. And we're still down by 1. How are we trailing in this game, man? Excellent start. There we go. Come on. We deserve that. Lenny's first since joining. Reading level. Come on. Still tied at 1-1. I'll take this. Solid point away against a recently relegated side. I just had to hit it long and just hope for the best, really, as Tom Lockyer wins it back. You know when you're in a bit of a pickle, you just think, oh, just hoof it. just get the ball long and just hope for the best, as Lenny gets a shot away. Oh, what a goal! Lenny Lobato! What a goal! Bags a brace, and Reading come from behind to lead at Kenilworth Road. And this is why, like I said, man, I didn't mind going out in the week in the Cup. Ain't nobody got time for the Carabao Cup. We're focused on the Championship, but we deserve to be in front. Played some good football out there, created some good chances. And Lenny Lobato, I'm liking the look of him. He's just got his second and our second. Reading in front. No. Come on. Don't. Oh, no. Oh, my God. That's the unluckiest own goal I think I've ever seen. Scott Sterling. Oh, no. Not in the face, but in the crown jewels. Well, it's not the crown jewels. Pause. Pause. Oh my goodness. Calvert-Lewin gets away from Haynes, smacks it off the post and hits him in the stomach. I don't know why he's... Well, come on, mate. Listen, you are trying to flex on us and... Oh, come on. That's in the midriff, son. At first it was the reaction. I thought it might have hit him in the head. Because you see the way he cocks his head back there? I thought it was a Scott Sterling moment, but it's not in the head. It's not in the crown jewels. It's right in the midriff. And he's trying to make out like he's just been hit in the nutsack. No. It's right in the midriff. But it's still such an unlucky goal. Captain. Oh, I've got a feel for him, man. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, the way he cocked his head back, I thought it hit him in the face. And then he starts holding on to his private parts, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe not then. As Femi heads it just over the bar. But it's an own goal regardless, and I think on the back of that header going over, it's going to finish 2-2. What a game, though. Back-to-back 2-2 draws against Luton. And unlike in the week where, of course, it meant we went to a shootout to see who will make the next round of the Cup, we'll take the point. Back-to-back draws away in the Championship in our first 2 away days. So not a bad start at all. 5 points taken for a possible 9. That's not a bad start in our first 3 games, man. Pretty impressive for a newly promoted side. Yeah, I might have let 2 points slip through our fingers, but still a credible draw against a recently relegated side. Back home for the following game, West Brom and going for our 4th game without defeat to start the season off and hopefully bouncing back to winning ways here. Let's go do it. Come on, you Royals. This has been quite a good start from Reading, I must say. I didn't know what to expect for the new season. Kind of went into it with like open expectations, but I'd say it's been about as good, almost as good as I could have hoped for. Maybe we might have been a little bit lucky on the opening day against Bristol City. Maybe could have defended better in that game there against the Hatters. But really, I ain't going to say no to 2 draws and a win in our first 3 league games. The newly promoted side as Bukhari's on. Oh, and fires just wide of the post. And one thing I really am liking is the fact that we're creating a lot of chances, and that's encouraging. That's encouraging, man. You know, when you're starting a new season off, and possibly like in our case, you're taking the next step up to a higher division, you feel as though it's going to be harder to break down defences. Bukhari controls that brilliantly and offloads to Nibs. But if you can create chances, you've always got a chance. And then all you need is a clinical finish. Bukhari rolls it across. Harvey finishes. And Reading going for undeservedly so as well. We're carving defences open. We just need someone that can put the ball in the back of the net. We've lost our top scorer from last season. And I did my Coach Carter impression last year and said, well, I guess there'll be new top scorers this season then, won't they? And maybe Harvey will be one of them. He was one of our top scorers last year. He's got our first tonight. 53 minutes in. Reading in front deservedly. Give Bukhari the credit as well. What a first touch and bit of hold-up play that was to link up with Harvey. Oh, no. Oh, Bennett, what a save. And Charlie gets it away. And the finish by Nibs, spectacular. What a save that was by Bennett. We've thrown him into the first team for this season and sink or swim for the young kid. It's an excellent save. Going to need dynamic potential to kick in for Bennett because a low starting overall with poor potential and slow growth. It's not a great recipe for a young player, is it? Even in an RTG. We're almost there. 8 minutes to hold on to our 2nd win of the season. Putting all the Reading shirts behind the ball now and just trying to grind this out. Well in and Bengay. And that should do it. Go on, Bukhari. Oh, I like him, I must say. Now, Lenny. Go corner. Wise. Get in. What a win. Massive. There's a briefer. Pegs it across and Bukhari! With the dagger. Assist. Goal. Man of the match. Reading back to winning ways. And what a start to the season. 2 draws, 2 wins, 8 points taken for a possible 12, 2 clean sheets and 4, back-to-back wins in the Medeski. As far as starts of the season go, this has been maybe not a dream, but about as possibly good as it could have been. Realistically, amazing start for the Royals. And let's not slow down, man. Let's just keep this going. Following game away from home, heading to St Andrews, take on Birmingham City. Back-to-back draws in our first 2 away days, but in both games we were desperately unlucky not to win. Let's see if we can get our first away day victory this season and make it no losses in our first 5 games. No solid performance, and hopefully another win as well. Come on, you Royals. I said very briefly not long ago, maybe we can dare to dream about doing an Ipswich Town back-to-back promotions, but feet on the ground, firmly, squarely. This is only match day 5, man. Come on, long way to go. Despite what has been an impressive start. Oh, great save, Bennett. And tips it behind for a corner. Already 2 clean sheets in his first 4 games, to be fair. We need dynamic potential to kick in ASAP, but he don't actually look all that bad after all. Blues on the run down the right-hand side. And it's a poor pass. Nesta wins it back and... Okay, well that's not quite how I drew it up. But you know what? If it works, it works. Nesta. Kelvin. Guinness Walker. Harvey, hold your run. That'll give you time and space to shoot. Oh. Well, not the best of games, but... Whilst our wait for our first away day victory goes on, it's a credible point and clean sheet, and we are still unbeaten in our first 5 games. I said it, man, I wasn't worried about our defence this year, and with Dennis and Bennett both slotting into the first 11 pretty seamlessly already as well. Yeah, it's just going forward, can we score enough goals? Didn't get one in this one, but again, I'll take the point. Right, final game today, and after this we'll have deadline day where we'll end the episode on conclusion of that. Southampton at home, obviously newly promoted in real life, but right now still in the Championship. Undefeated, 2 in their first 5 games like us, but unlike us, top of the table with 4 wins in those first 5 games. One of the front runners to win the title, Southampton at the Medeski. Come on, you Royals. Be interesting to see how Southampton get on back in the Premier League for this season. They've signed quite a lot of players. I must say though, I like some of the players they've brought in. Ronnie Edwards, really good young player in my opinion, very good young centre half. I know they've signed Harold Bellis permanently from Manchester City as well. Interesting to see whether he adapts. There's another young Man City player join him, like Gavin Bazunu, of course. So yeah, a player that I'm a big fan of as well. I think he's very underrated. Flynn Downs joining as well from West Ham too. Brought in Brereton Diaz. Yeah, lots of transfers for the new season. It'll be interesting to see if they've got the quality to stay up in the Premier League, and they've definitely got the quality to get promoted to the Premier League for this season in the save. Might not have done so last season, but they'll be one of the front runners this year. Kamaldeen Suleiman fars them in front. I wouldn't say Southampton are like head and shoulders above the other teams in the league this season. But when you look at the league table, you'd say they're definitely one of the strongest, no doubt about that. And that's if this is our first loss of the season. Not gonna be too critical. As Femi Aziz fires wide, this is going to be one of our toughest tests of this season. And they've also signed a player called Sugawara, who I signed in one of my career mode saves a couple of years ago. And you know when that happens, like you see a team take a punt on a player that you discovered through career mode, you're always secretly hoping they do well. Just so you can tell your mates down the pub, oh yeah, I knew about him. Oh yeah, I knew about that guy. I knew about that guy. Don't ask me where I knew about him, but I knew about him, you know. May or may not have been one of my best players in career mode. I don't think I'll ever get any better than that with Ivan Toney. As Will Smallbone is denied by Bennett, a bit of a camera save by the American, but still down by 1, 16 to go. Just haven't been able to stand up to the challenge here. Southampton, like I said, one of the best sides in the division, I would say, and we just haven't been able to stand up to them yet. Is that a pen? What for? What? I mean, it's hard enough to beat these guys without decisions like that going against me. Where's the pen? Where's the infringement? Oh, come on. Seriously? He's just robbed the ball off me and then fallen over. How is that a pen? Never. He's sold that completely. Absolutely sold that. Carlos Alcaraz to make it 2. Denied by the kid. Ball don't lie. We're still breathing for now. Well, Keeps may have gave us a half chance with a penalty save, but really one of those contests where it was all one-way traffic for the most part. Yeah, we might be up to the Championship and off to a decent start this season, but there's levels to this, and we're certainly not at the level of Southampton yet. Long way to go in the season and the save, of course, but yeah, taught a harsh lesson there. Great start, but know your place, Reading. So, as deadline day is here, we've got £2 million to work our magic, so not much to work with here. But to be fair, we've done quite well with the freebies so far. Well, we're certainly not going to see anyone depart on deadline day, that's for sure. I had been contemplating possibly giving Patrick Oakley a deal and then trying to loan him out. But I'm just not sure if there's enough time for that. So I might just gamble, keep him in the academy, and possibly try and loan him out in January instead. He's just too lowly rated to have an impact in the first season, and I don't want to give him a pro deal now and not be able to loan him out on deadline day. Yeah, we're not going to sell anyone. There's enough money to bring in a freebie, but I don't really know who to bring in. Because to be fair, even though I wouldn't say we need a winger now with the signings we've made, I would really like to bring back Mukairi. I mean, he was brilliant last year. He balled out in the third tier, and we got enough money to bring him in. And it's one of those where it's like, we're just signing him mainly because he's a fan favourite, do you know what I mean? Curry in good favour with the fans, but because of our financial situation, we've got to use the money we've got wisely, man. We can't afford to sign players for sentimental reasons, really. So with that being the case, I might go after Joe Williams. Joe Williams came through the Everton Academy many years ago now, whilst he's not quite kicked on in his career. Released now at 27, 72 rated, but in the prime of his career. And with the stats he's got, technically, he's pretty solid. 84 aggressions, was a DM, he'll intercept and win some balls back, and technically, defensively, really comfortable whilst passing the ball forward as well. For a freebie, lots and lots of appearances in the Football League. I might just bring him in for the squad depth. On a free transfer, let's bring him in. Yeah, I'm not quite sure just how long he'll be here for, but signing a 3-year, $7,000 a week deal. Not only does he add some first team quality, but some much needed depth as well. For a player that's played many times within the EFL, it's just the sort of player we need, really, to fit out the squad with some experience, but still being young enough to grow a rating or two. Welcome to the Medeski Stadium. Joe Williams. Yeah, I don't know whether I'll start him ahead of Wing or Savage, because I like the pair of them as a dynamic duo DM together, but again, technically, this guy's really solid, defensively sound too, and could definitely, at 6'1", with the solid aggression stat as well, we turned into a ball-playing defender. For now, we'll just keep him as a DM. Regardless, Joe is in. With our budget now dropping down to just under 1.8 mil, I think we'll leave the signings there. I think it's 5 new signings for the new season, all of which coming in on free transfers. But like I said, with the budget we were working with, had to work our magic. And to be fair, we've added to the quality of the first team. We've given it some much needed depth, only a little bit more, but even so. And we signed some first team quality youngsters as well. None better, I'd say, than Dennis and Lenny. So we'll get through deadline day quickly, leave things as they are, and for the start of the season, 6 games, only the 1 loss, already 2 clean sheets in our first 6 as well, and a couple of wins too, as the bid comes in for Kanai, but of course not going to sell him, even though he'll be back up for this season. I'm happy, working with an incredibly small budget, bringing in those 2 5-star judgment scouts. I think we did about as good as we could have done, and made the best of a bad situation. So the top deals on deadline day, Brahim joining Spurs for 66.6 mil, Santiago Jimenez joins Brighton for 44.8 million, and Akanji moves within the Premier League, joining West Ham from Man City for 43 million pounds. We're a long way off being able to do those sort of deals, but I'm still happy with how our team is looking, man, and that's how we'll close episode 2 of the new season now, because that will do it for today's episode, guys. So big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Myself to you all, have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next episode with more big games in League One, aim to extend our decent start to the season and try and go on a decent winning run for the first time in this season, and we'll have more scouting updates looking to add to our decent youth academy. Have a fantastic day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Summer Career Mode very soon.